Lenenborg are gone. Hornets draft targets are rapidly coming off the board, fellas. We got Ademara is next up. Hans Steinbach are probably like the last two that you feel, I don't know what, somewhat confident about. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, this is when you're drafting 14th. This is just going to happen. You know, you guys, we've covered plenty of Hornets drafts over the years, drafting late in the lottery, and so this is a familiar feeling. You knew once they got through that glut of point guards in the 5 to 9 range that there was going to be a run on these guys, and it happened quickly with Johnson going off the board to Dallas in Dusty May at pick 9.
There's a lot of talk about Lendenberg sliding, like in the lead up to this. The last 48 hours, he's been like being mocked down to 16, 17. So for him to actually go 11 in the end is a bit of an upset. I think his like over under is at 12.5. So.
Well, look, the Warriors, everyone thinks they're going to get older this offseason, trying to bring in LeBron James, and they're going older through the draft, going with a 24-year-old. So this is a bold strategy from Steve Kerr and Mike Dunleavy here. And yeah, it really feels now like I don't think the Hornets are interested in Nate Ament, but I will just be curious if he ends up going 12 or 13, sort of like, I don't think Oklahoma City is going to take him. So it comes to, will Milwaukee take him? And if so, I feel pretty good about the Hornets being able to like take a stab at some of these guys that were sort of like in on as targets for them.
I almost kind of hope Milwaukee takes him. And then I'm pretty sure they probably, I don't know, maybe they did expect Braden Burries to be there at 10, but I think that, being able to take him at 10 allows them to kind of play around with 13. So I hope they take him so we don't have to have that conversation. But I have no idea
on the
what
board.
OKC's doing.
It wouldn't shock me if the Hornets did suck Ament, but like you, I'm just trusting that he's going to be gone off the board at 13.
Yeah,
like the Bucks have got those two picks. Burries and Amen, I think, are like two guys who complement each other. Would be a solid start, a rebuild start. Matt, welcome in. Fresh from the airport, right?
Yes, about an hour ago. Got home. It's all good over here. Still on island time.
Well, we're slowly just crying as one Hornets draft target comes off the board, one after another, right here. So come join the fun.
Yeah, this is a tough board. This is not what I was hoping for.
Nope.
I'm not a huge fan of Ademara, and I think that's the direction it's going at this point.
And I think we all aren't the biggest fans.
Well, I'm Steinbach over Mara. Who else is Steinbach over Mara?
100%.
That would be
yeah, I think so.
We're all Steinbach over Mara. That is quite against.
Is that the way our big board? Is that the way our big boards are? I'm pretty sure that's how mine is.
I think I have Mara ahead of Steinbach on the big board. Yeah, it's close though.
For me, it was one of those things where everybody else says Mara and I didn't see it, and I thought maybe that's just a flaw on my part. So it was like I think I put Amara ahead, but for me, I would have rather have Steinbach.
Brian, you're the one. You have Mara 3 spots ahead of Steinbach on your big board. So you're playing both sides here, man.
A little bit. Yeah, I guess. I like Mara a lot. I think he moves better than. He's been given credit for. I think he has a little bit more scheme versatility. He's obviously a drop big, but I think he showed he could switch. He showed he could hedge, play up at the level. The passing is like good, not great. I think the finishing is pretty good. Like the run jump finishing too. I like, and obviously he was just an incredible, like the numbers he had, I think 80 dunks this season for Michigan. He finished at an incredibly high rate around the rim too. So the size, the feel, the movement for a player that size, I think there's some like interesting stuff there for him. And he is, he is gigantic too in terms of size and reach. And that doesn't guarantee that he's going to be a defensive anchor, but it certainly doesn't hurt, especially for a drop 5 like that.
I mean, he could be the pick here for OKC. I have a feeling like that. There was rumors that they'd be interested in him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite buy that he's the Wemby stopper angle, which people went with
at all. That's always been Merez to me.
It could make sense regardless, right? And Matt, just to brief you on what we're doing, this is for BuzzBeat Plus listeners, and we're also live. We're going to go to about pick 18. And then we're gonna come back on at the end of the first round to give like more collected thoughts when there's catch any trades, anything like that. So that is the plan. And if there's people in the chat watching along, if there is a trade, we're not like spoiling it on X or anything here. If there's a trade, if you could just let us know in the chat. We just don't want to spoil the picks here as they come in.
Okay. Yeah. So there's. Have you guys seen the OKC pick?
No,
yes,
I've not.
I'm
waiting for it.
Okay.
I'm behind. It takes a little bit while for like the
airing
to travel across the Atlantic.
Okay. Get all right. So I will make sure to not say anything until James sees what it is.
Oh.
Take a sip of my coffee while we
now everyone's going quiet. What does this mean?
I'm shocked you haven't seen. Okay, it's really taking a long time.
It's coming right. It's coming out. It's coming out. Hold on. Okay, it is Adamara.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
The Hornets have been marked safe from Adamara.
We're saved.
For the three of us.
If the next pick is Hans Steinbach, then it's the doomsday scenario that we discussed in the BuzzFeed chat.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Man, I'll be disgusted.
Let's see.
I'm probably gonna feel the way I felt when we picked Jean, where I just couldn't believe it.
It can't be Steinbach next. It can't be, can it? Come on.
They're taking Nate Ament. It's Nate Ament. Come on,
it has
Milwaukee.
to be Nate Ament. Oh dear. Right.
So I don't know if people responded in the chat. If the nightmare scenario unfolds and Steinbach goes next, Brian, what do you do at 14?
Like, I guess, you could, look Kareem Lopez, I suppose.
Yeah.
I wouldn't love that. Pick. You could look Dalen Swain.
I love Dalen Swain.
You could, it said the Hornets were high on Allen Graves at pick 18. 14 would be pretty early for him, but you could go him at 14 and then try to get a guard at 18, go Sturtz or a Corey or Swain at 18, or maybe you go LeBaron Filan at 14 with him still on the board too. So like, I see there's some pathways here, but you're now getting into sort of like the B, you're missing out on all the A scenarios and you're now working into some of the secondary options. But I think if Steinbach's off the board, oh boy, I guess I would.
It gets ugly.
I guess I would go.
If Steinbach's off the board, then people are going to be unhappy. That's just where I'm at with it. I'm Team Kareem Lopez, but I know that is not a common pick amongst Hornets fans.
No, I would not mind the Lopez pick. I think according to my board, it would probably be Filan, but Lopez would make sense as this, slashing hybrid forward, intriguing team defender. Like there's some stuff there with Lopez potentially.
I mean, the other thing we have to consider as well, like Nate Ament is a guy who I think a lot of us have lower, but like if you speak to professional scouts and like team sources, they say he could have been like, a top 5 pick coming into the year. It's a top 10 talent. Like we also have to just admit that we could just all be wrong and that Nate Ament could actually have real upside. Now he's like a kind of development power forward similar to Tijon, and that's a little bit like clunky in terms of how you develop them at the same time, but you'd probably get good draft grades, if you got Nate Ament at 14 from people.
Depends.
Even if being popular.
He doesn't address the physicality concern, and he's another skinny guy who can't get to the rim.
But he does get to the free throw line, right? And that is one thing he does to a very good level. And there's one thing Charlotte don't do. Like there is an element of being able to draw fouls through physicality. But I do agree with you. Like generally, like he struggles with the physicality, like finishing in the interior and stuff like that. And will he get the same foul calls in the NBA?
No,
I don't know.
I also think a lot of his fouls, I'd have to sort of like see how many came on the floor. I think he gets a lot of foul whistles doing sort of like mid-post isolation, back down stuff, not like slashing, you know what I mean? And just like actually like touching the paint and doing the kind of like actual putting pressure on the rim in the way that would cause teams to foul to like stop you from dunking the ball. It's more so to like, he's getting shot faking and getting, contact or whatever 16 feet from the rim, which is useful too. Just like if he's your 4th or 5th option, he's not going to be doing that kind of stuff in the NBA too.
I appreciate it. I feel like he struggles because he's not physical, but he does drive with real intent when he gets downhill. He's not afraid to play through contact. He kind of just like gets eaten up by it a lot of times, but I don't know. I appreciate his mindset as a driver is like, I'm going to try to go through and over somebody. He just physically can't do it, unfortunately, which maybe, you put on weight in the NBA that changes, but he's at least like a willing driver and willing to attempt to play with physicality in terms of the the free throw drawing.
Yeah, and all the feedback is like off the charts for like his maturity, approach, work ethic. So he ticks a lot of the Hornets DNA boxes from that side of things. I had him really low at the start of the pre-draft process. I'm like 19, 20. And then after a while, I was just like, you know what? Like, I probably just have to move him up because of like his intangibles, his skills, and his measurables. And like, if you put those things together, you kind of just have to take the swing like earlier than 20. And I kind of moved up into like 14, 15 range.
Yeah, there's a path there. I just feel like after what I've seen with Tajon, even though I do feel like he's improving, I'm not going to say I don't believe in them in development because that's not true, but it's just like I don't think Tajon's where I would personally want him to be going into year 3. And I don't know with Nate Ament, how long will that even take for him to get to a space where he's getting real minutes, and these real minutes aren't due to lack of players in that position. So I just don't want the whole like, oh well, we have to play him, so we can it's justifying the pick, justifying the minutes, as opposed to like, oh, he's earned this time. Because even with Miles, even with Grant there, I just don't see how. And then you got to think about Tajon. I would assume they would give Tajon probably a chance before him. I just don't see the pathway there. But
it would have been interesting if Nate Ament, he was very close to coming to Duke. In fact, there were people at Duke that thought he was coming to Durham, including pretty late in the cycle. And the people managing Nate Ament's recruitment wanted more money, and Tennessee swooped in sort of late. But it would have been, him playing off of Cam Boozer, he probably would have shot.
Seen a different,
Probably would have shot above 40% on twos against top 100 opponents, which he did not do this season. So,
I mean, there is a part of it where he was just so overtaxed at Tennessee. Like him and Jacoby Gillespie, and that was it for any sort of creation talent. Yeah. And like, does it all look better in a scaled down role? Would it have looked that much better at Duke? Right.
Look, it's only taken us 6 minutes to talk ourselves into Nate Ament as the pick.
This we need to do a wellness check on this chat right now, because we just spent the last 300 seconds being like, Nate Ament, I see it. And I definitively don't see it, but
and then I'll come off at 13 and we'll be like, thank God for that.
Hans Steinbeck, come on down.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question. The Charlotte Hornets have not traded up. There was rumors that they could have traded up. Now, knowing how the draft has played out, right? Let's say you could have gone up to 9 and got Morez Johnson for Dallas if they were willing to do it. Like, does anyone have any regrets now that like Yaxel's not there or Mara's not there, or are you still kind of happy with just staying put?
I never loved the idea of trading up. I feel like even though we're not as high on the guys that are potentially on the board for Charlotte, I'd always rather have 2 bites at the apple in this range than package these picks and go up and get Morez, who's not a sure thing. I mean, there's still so many questions about Morez offensively that he has to answer to prove that he'd be worth moving these 2 picks. I think there's a 40 to 50% chance that one of these guys is better than Morez, a 15% chance that both guys end up better than Morez at 14 and 18. So,
all right, the 13th pick is in. I will not tip it. May have to turn my camera off just to ensure.
Totally blank.
I've still got slow-mo replays of Charles, Chuck Cooper, and Earl Lloyd playing in black and white.
You're gonna get a nice zoom in on the Big O here shortly that I'll spoil for you.
Yeah, I'm right there now. Okay, so we're gonna know who is on the clock any minute now. By the way, well done for the NBA draft for not going to advert break when the Hornets are on the clock, which is normally what happens, right? The Hornets pick us in and they go to advert break. They did it on the Miami pick instead. Thank you to the NBA. Makes a nice change. There we go. Okay. It's as we thought.
I was holding my breath this whole time because I was like, please don't let it.
Very
Hans
fitting to have.
Steinbach.
Very.
What if it's not Hans Steinbach? Oh, dear.
That's the part that worries me.
LeBaron Filan, come on down. No, I
Draft
think
Steinbach, trade for Sabonis. Let's just go.
Oh,
All the terrible rim defensive.
Does that become a
guys.
reality if they choose not to take Steinbach? Would you assume they're trading for Sabonis? Because like Steinbach is like your answer to that. I don't like it. I'm just saying, like, would that be their thinking?
I don't think so. I know what you mean.
Steinbach is right there, so why not just take him?
Well, we'll see.
I don't know.
I feel I would. He feels like the safe money to be the selection at 14.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Steinbach now, I think people would be angry at the pick. No matter what else.
Oh, for sure.
If it was Karim Lopez, if it was Phylon, Cam Carr, I
think people would get behind Carr. I think that I've seen a lot of Hornets fans who are fans of Carr and the thought of him coming to Charlotte.
Michael Kidd Gilchrist, super fan, Cam Carr, endearing himself to the people.
That was unreal.
So good.
An unbelievable first jersey to have. I think my first jersey was Steven Jackson. So I'm probably not like too far off, but
it's pretty good.
It's pretty crazy.
Those are pretty good.
Steven Bobcats Planet, which is a forum that existed. They had a shop and they made Steven Jackson "I Make Love to Pressure" quote T-shirts.
Love to Pressure. Oh my
which
God,
I bought at the age of about 17. A brown T-shirt with just the quote saying "I make love to pressure," and I walked around thinking I was like the coolest guy in the UK.
You may have been, honestly. It's a pretty sweet shirt. Like,
having to explain that I make love to pressure at like soccer practice as a 17-year-old in Manchester is just a hilarious thought to me.
There's this guy called Captain Jack, right?
It's like similar to Captain Planet, just like a little bit different, maybe a little more angry.
A little bit more angry. A fan
what's
of the
craziest pick we think would make sense here? Like, what's the one that you'd be like, oh my God, they actually did that?
Koa Pete is just what I have in my head.
That's actually not a bad poll, honestly.
That's a good one.
Bennett Sturts, I think, would be one.
Bill Simmons on his Twitter mock put Sturts at 14 to Charlotte right before the draft started.
Because I know 18, but like 14 to me, that's the one.
That's early for Sturts.
That's kind of crazy.
I would not love that. I like Sturts.
I wouldn't either. Yeah. No, I mean, like, this is ultimately like if they make the pick and it's Steinbach, then the board has broken fine. Do you know what I mean? Like after sort of like our initial concern, it's like, this is like
it goes back to normal.
I think everyone was sort of hoping it was going to be Merez or Steinbach, and Merez went top 10, and so no one else sort of like unexpected, fell into their lap. Berries or Lendenberg, who when we did some of our like mock pre-draft pods, those guys fell. That didn't happen in real life, and it would make a lot of sense for them to go the German route here, the Autobahn.
Oh man, this is gonna be interesting, and it's going down to the second. Like it's going down to we're 44 seconds.
By the way, shout out Mike Miller, Nate Amen's agent, who I think Mike Miller is on the sneak like a pretty like powerful agent, I feel, in the NBA circles, and he was certainly on camera when they cut to Nate's table after the pick was in, and that felt fitting, to say the least.
All right, in North Carolina, the pick is in.
I'm 50 seconds out.
Okay, so I think you're a full 30 seconds behind us.
All right.
It's a full University of Virginia offensive.
I'm not going to look at your faces because I know you guys aren't going to be able to like hold in your reaction. So I'm just going to.
I'm going to cover my mouth because that's what's gonna like, or maybe
I'm just ignoring you folks over here.
Just turn away.
I might have to dip off after the pick if they do a Zoom media availability with a player, but I don't know when that'll be. It'll be at some point tonight. I don't know how soon after the pick. Normally it's quite soon.
Been a pretty benign first round. I feel like this has
been really boring
for all of the talk that this is going to be. I mean, it's the same thing every year, right? They always hype up the craziness and the potential traits, but this has about been as chalky as I can remember the first 15 picks of the draft ever.
Yeah.
What Sham's talking about? Is anything
Yeah.
important? No.
It's the Giannis trade.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
I have it on mute, so when they flashed him to him, I was like, oh no.
So did I. That was what I was
like,
saying.
oh no.
I was like, wait, it's got the Hornets logo in the background. You're like,
I didn't want to say anything, but I was
the
like,
Grim Reaper of access popping up on the feed.
The logo's just placed perfectly behind him. I was like,
yeah. Oh, Kobe White getting some. Well, it's an image of Kobe White. Yeah. All right. Oh.
Here comes Commissioner Silver.
Okay, I'm still behind, so.
Yeah, this is.
Sham, stop talking.
Oh my God! Make the selection.
I thought it was just me. I was like, why is he taking so long?
Yeah.
He was announcing the Nate Amen to Milwaukee.
Oh,
trade.
For the love of God!
I'm still.
And I was trying to read his lips, and I was like, what? I was like, what is he saying? That was stressful for no reason. That was stressful for absolutely no reason.
The NFL does it the right way. I don't know why the NBA can't quite figure it out.
NFL has random people they pull off the street make the pick fast.
Yeah, I love that. I love
yes.
They have 7
Hannah Steinbach, come on down.
Yep.
Come get some barbecue. You'll find bratwurst in Charlotte. Don't worry.
What's the best German restaurant in the 704? There's got to be something.
There's about to be a few of them popping up after.
Yeah.
Welcome, Germany fans. We welcome all German fans to Buzzbeat. We welcome all creeds. My grandma is German, right? I'm basically one of you. So
Geisinger is a German. My last name is German, so
there we go. It was written in the stars.
It is the pick though. Yeah,
I like the pick. The pick is.
I agree.
Good about it.
It's gonna probably get like a B everywhere in terms of like it kind of makes sense, but it does make sense. And the reports that he worked out really well pre-drafted, a strong pre-draft process. I saw that reported in a couple places with like how he worked out. And this is a question I was thinking about earlier. Can Hannah Steinbach, if the perimeter game is real, can him and Musa play together in the front court? That's what I was wondering about. Brian,
I think so. I think so. I think it's like a little skinny and not that big, but Miles Bridges and Musa play together a lot already, and Steinbach's maybe not as bulky, but is he measured 6'10" and a half at the combine, 7'2" and a half wingspan. So yeah, I think so. And then those guys would also be a real force on the glass too. I mean that's something that they could really cause problems for opposing teams. Just night in, night out. It's a lot to deal with those two guys and their work rate on the glass. And like Steinbach is one of those guys. I was talking about this with Chuck from the Chucking Darts podcast. Just like his ability to like high point the ball. Even in a crowd of players when he's going for a rebound, it's like he's got like laser beams that pop up out of his hands that just like attract the ball back down to him. Really, really, really talented and impressive rebounder. And someone, if you haven't watched, he's like worth actually like studying some of his rebounding patterns. But yes, to answer your question, James, again, I do think there's it's certainly for a team on the rise. I think for Charlotte, it's like maybe not the front court that you want to be married to when you're really trying to like contend. But I think for now, yeah, absolutely, it has potential to be pretty good actually.
Yeah, I like it. I think that I like that his ability to run the floor and transition. I think that he has shown some ability to potentially just maybe at least hit from the corner at the NBA level. And what I really like is how Musa has made offensive rebounding important for this team. I think that no matter who you have on the floor, you will get that level of production on the offensive glass. And then also I feel like he has a little more like pass into his game to find like those open guys, as opposed to Musa kind of has to bring it down and walk it out the paint. I feel like Hans has that ability to kind of quickly kick it out. So I really like the pick. He was someone when I first started watching him, I figured like if the Hornets really wanted to maximize like what we do offensively and just like completely buy into that, I thought that he would be like the pick. I didn't think the board would fall this way. I thought he'll be more of a decision on the Hornets part, but I'm happy with it regardless.
Knipple, McNeely, Coltbrenner, Steinbach, Sturt to 18.
I was going to say, just
was
wait till they
crazy.
draft Bennett Sturts.
That
Yeah, get
was
ready.
exactly.
The cream team.
The cream.
What's the meme that goes, Ryan? That fine whites.
Exciting
is it, or
white.
Exciting whites.
Exciting
whites.
whites. Oh,
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah,
PJ Hall
yeah.
is the sixth man.
PJ Hall is
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brian and Darian kind of said it all. It's a good fit for Charlotte. I think it's just a double down on the strengths that you have, especially if Steinbach can shoot, which everyone is projecting that he will add a stretch element to Charlotte's front court. And if that's the case, I think he could play alongside Diabate, could play alongside Kalkbrenner, could play alongside Miles Bridges, whoever it is. If Steinbach can stretch the floor even to like a decent level, he's got a pretty cool intersection of skills with his rebounding ability, with the potential shooting. I love when he gets out in transition with the ball in his hands. I think he's an underrated athlete. Like some of the handles in traffic and like the explosions. He didn't have too many dunks in his 1 year at Washington, but he threw out a couple that were like eyebrow raising, impressive dunks. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting skill set. Still a young guy, still putting on weight to his frame. I think he put on 15 to 20 pounds in his freshman year at Washington, which is only a good sign for him continuing to bulk up. I mean, we need to talk about the weaknesses too. Offering you little to no rim protection at the center position, that's going to be a struggle. I think he's kind of without a position on defense.
Yeah.
Can't guard your more nominal like back to the basket bigs. Probably not going to switch onto the perimeter, so they're going to need to figure out what he does defensively. But I think the offensive end of the floor and on the glass is going to bring a lot of strengths to this team that will just continue to accentuate what they already do really well.
I think I had this conversation with Bryce Simon when he came in the pod, but I was like this type of player type, like I had a bunch of comps and none of them were like absolutely brilliant. It's like Jonas Valanciunas, Billy Hernan Gomez, Enes Kanter, Alex Len, Day'Ron Sharp, Sabonis, Isaiah Hartenstein, like Nikola Vucevic. These are players, like even the good outcomes of those, like Vucevic and Sabonis, they're still like flawed in terms of like it's hard to like build a team around them because of some of their limitations. And that is like the question that I have is like, how does he fit in? But the one thing, and this was all over my scout notes, and I don't see this talked about at all with Hannah Steinbach, is like his ability to handle as a pick and roll ball handler in like inverted pick and rolls, a little bit like Kambuza did, which I thought would like give Charlotte a unique approach in their offense that they don't really have. I've got marked again that he can like attack from the perimeter with dribble drives and finish through contact with like mid-range floaters or like take bumps and finish. And if you do think he can play power forward, like not just being able to stretch the floor, but being able to drive and attack closeouts, that's something you need to be able to do as well. And I actually think he can do that pretty fluidly for someone that is his size. Normally the big rebounders, they're not guys who can attack closeouts. And that is something that I think he can actually do.
No, there were two of his games that I've watched the last few weeks. The game against Michigan that he played up in Seattle, he played very well in the game against Oregon in Eugene. And in both of those games, they kind of came on like scrambled possessions where he was second side, but it was against Michigan, it was in the corner where the Wolverines got caught in rotation. And against Oregon, it was sort of more of like a stampede cut. But like he's got, to Matt's point, like on a straight line, he is surprisingly like pretty quick and explosive. And again, using the sort of like stampede cut stuff, there's some, headiness and skill that you can add in there. one of the ways he was probably used mostly at Washington this past season was in that sort of like 3 across, pick and pop set that the Hornets played a lot this season too, where the 5 is in the dunker spot. You've got 2 shooters in the corner, and the one in the point, two other players are in the top of the key, going through a screening action. And I think that's something that Steinbeck can copy and paste into. And he's the guy that can be in pick and rolls with LaMelo, pick and pops. You can use him on the short roll. He can look for Diabate in the dunker spot, or kick out to Khan or Brandon in the corner. Or you can pick and pop. And if you get a stunt or a dig from the weak side, he can swing it to Khan or Miller in the corner. So I kind of like his versatility as a screening threat. We have seen during LaMelo's tenure, Charlotte has tried to get a lot of these, they've tried to get a variety of sort of like front court guys that could be screening partners. But I do like Steinbach's upside as a guy who could partner with some of the Charlotte's young stars and help them in these actions.
All right, let's talk about 18. Dalen Swain went 15 to the Bulls. Bryson Graham was not lying when he said they want strength, length, athleticism, physicality. That is exactly what Swain did. He was like projected in the 20s, really. So that's quite high for him. Yeah, everyone give me one guy you are hoping makes it to 18. Darian, I'll come to you first.
Ooh. Oh man, I was gonna say Swain, so now I'm thrown off. I would probably say let's go Kareem Lopez. Let's go Kareem Lopez.
Welcome. I'm on the Kareem Lopez bandwagon with you. Matt, how about you?
I'm going to go with Cam Carr. I think he's just a fun player. Fun archetype. Would bring the Hornets some honestly much needed scoring punch off their bench. And I think there would be some fun lineup combinations, and watching him run out in transition, catching lobs from LaMelo would be awesome.
Yeah.
There's a few guys. I'll stay on Brandon.
I've said one. You got to sneak. You got to stay one, Brian.
I'll go Abuko Corey. I mean, I think he'll be there at 18. I don't think he's going to be the pick, but I just think his quickness, his first step, his drives, his creation, his ability to be a kickstarter of offense, really intriguing, and a guy that offers a guy I think is someone that could initiate offense at a good clip on the next level. So I'll say him, but all of these names, Carr, Lopez, guys that I like to would be or Phylan, would be happy with these guys there as well.
Yeah, a lot of talk about Bennett Sturts or a guard, isn't there, today? So it'll be interesting to see what way they go here. If they went guard, you said a Corey BG. What about Matt, Darren? Who are your top guards available if it was going to be guard?
Mine would be mine would be Phylan. I just think that I like what I saw from him being able to grow. That's like one of the things that now we see more players going back to college. I love seeing them play one way their first year, where he was more of like this off ball, like defensive kind of guy. And he got the feedback, came back, and was a completely different player, but in a good way. And I like his ability to create. He's not the athlete I would necessarily, want him to be, but I still think there's a lot of upside there for him. And then even, like I said, if the Hornets bring him in and say, hey, look, you're not going to be someone that needs the ball all the time, then I like his ability to play defense as well. He definitely needs to gain some weight, get stronger, but I see the upside there because I've seen him do it. And with him not being the fastest and like I said, the quickest player, I don't think adding that weight will really impact his game at all. So I would probably go Phylan, but it's not by much. All three of them are really close to me.
I would go with Okori if Charlotte is going to choose a guard at 18. It's the rim pressure is the selling point for Okori. I think Brian could probably wax poetic about this much more than I can, but I think there's a need for Charlotte to draft a guard. I've talked about this on BuzzFeed. I've written about this over at Hornets on SI, and I think there's a specific skill set that Okori has, his ability to get to the rim, finish through contact, play through contact, and also the playmaking off of that would fit really nicely coming off of Charlotte's bench.
And the bright side, and it looks like the Hornets will be able to, I guess maybe we'll see what Memphis does, but it looks like the Hornets will have their pick, of the three. So, I really wouldn't be mad at any of the three. I'm just glad that the Hornets don't have to, maybe just settle. So if they really want a guard, it seems like they'll have the chance to pick the guard they want.
Yeah, there's a few few on the board.
How far back would you guys feel comfortable trading down if Charlotte? There are, we're talking about there's a number of guys on the board. I don't know what it looks like for Charlotte to trade down, but 23, 24, is that of interest to you
I was
at
gonna
all
say,
to just continue to add more future assets?
I was going to say mid-20s probably, because I think a lot of these guys we're talking on, maybe even throwing in Alan Graves, like those guys that I would like.
Guys, I'm just going to duck out just so you know. I'll be back in a bit.
All right. But yeah, let's keep it going here. Like, yeah, I think if a team like New York was trying to move up, or the Lakers at 24, 25, like I would be intrigued by moving into that range, or team like Boston at 27. Maybe that's a little too deep, and it sort of depends on what else you'd be getting back in return. But we just listed off several guards, and I think even a guy like a Corey is still going to potentially be there. Graves could be there. So I would feel, Cam Carr, like I would still feel like reasonably comfortable that some of these guys that I have pretty good grades on might be available in like the early to mid 20s.
Yeah, and since it's just me and you, Bennett Sturts just went. So
yep, there he is.
I figured Memphis was going to take a guard. I just didn't know which one. But yeah, I mean, still, like you said, there's still plenty of different players to pick from. So at 18.
Wow, that is that's not a bad. That's a totally fine selection for Memphis. I'm not surprised. I mean, looking for ball handlers, in the sort of like post, or I guess it's not post Ja. Let's not jump the gun on it yet. And it's maybe not a great analogy that I just made there either. But Sturts, I mean, like I don't think he profiles as like a future franchise guy, but. Yeah. There is something, his combination of pick and roll, upside, passing, shooting, the shooting touch. I mean, he's one of the best shooters in the class. It's like there is some maybe like, sub all-star, but like, star level kind of potential with him. I wouldn't bet on it, but I don't think that's like out of the equation for him. Because again, the passing and shooting touch and ball screen, acumen are all quite good. He's small, he's skinny, so he's got some limitations working against him. But he is plus, he's a 6'6" wingspan, but it's the 185 pounds. I mean, he is pretty slender. So, but I like a lot of the stuff that Memphis is. They're turning the page. You can see it happening. Coward, Boozer, Edey, Sturts. I mean, those are a bunch of really good shooters. Coward, Boozer, Sturts, excellent shooters. Sturts and Boozer got two guys that can really pass. You got a guy like Cam Spencer who's already in house who can really shoot. So you can see some of the stuff that Memphis is going for philosophically, as they're assembling the sort of like next roster construction down there.
Yeah, it gives them like a sense of like stability. I feel like all the players they chose, they're not. I mean, obviously they have their own upside, but like I don't feel like you're buying tools and just hoping for the best. These guys have all shown you something before they even have gotten to the league, and then they have like a defining skill that you can already hang your hat on before they even touch the floor at the NBA level. So yeah, and I like the way Sturts moves off ball, and like you said, since they got Boozer and his passing ability, I think that goes together very well. Who knows what they're going to do with Ja, but what I do like about the Sturts pick as well is that it doesn't really matter what you do with Ja. If you can't move off Ja, I don't think it ruins anything. If you want to keep Ja, it doesn't matter. So
this is interesting. Jake Fisher just tweeted, this is actually a trade.
Oh,
and Sturts is going to OKC.
Wow.
And Memphis is making this pick. So they swapped 16 and 17. So Sturts to Oklahoma City, which
they thought Charlotte was going to take Sturts at 18. Right?
Yeah,
that's got to be what that means.
Yeah.
Don't we?
But no, they just swapped 16 and 17. So why would that?
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, forgive me. Yeah. No. Yeah, that's a really interesting trade, actually. Yeah,
I think Sturts is awesome in Oklahoma City, especially his ability to play off ball. I think they'll be able to use him in a number of ways alongside SGA to kind of buoy the offense without him, especially they trade Aaron Wiggins, but It's interesting, but yeah, I don't know why they moved up one pick unless they thought Memphis was going to take him at 16, and they had to swap with Memphis in order to get him.
That's a really interesting bit of business, though, too.
It's just
Like
one
this,
pick.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I can't see any.
Like
There's no details of the
Yeah,
trade
he
yet.
doesn't have any details. But they're saying Shams had it wrong. I don't know why people are saying that.
That's a really interesting. That is an
17 and
interesting
2
trade.
seconds per Shams.
Okay, I do like Sturts there. I mean, they've just got so many guys. I mean, when healthy, I guess is the important caveat. But just like between SGA, J-Dub, and obviously AJ Mitchell. Now you add Sturts in, who can play with all of those guys. And it's going to be obviously on a very, very team-friendly contract. It's like, makes a lot. He makes good sense for them there too. Yeah. Gives them another. I mean, they're looking. They probably need to add a little bit of shooting too. So Sturts can helps in that regard too.
And I guess everything we said about Sturts and how he fits with what Memphis would be doing. I still think that he's one of those guys where it really don't matter where he goes. He's gonna show out. So. I think that OKC still, like you mentioned, is still a good landing spot for him. I am interested to see who Memphis takes.
It does make you wonder, like, what the deal with Topic is in OKC too. Like a guy that's obviously like the guy's had really through no fault of his own, just an incredible, an awful slate of health concerns that have hit him since he jumped to the pros. But a guy that I really liked in the 2024 draft who. Essentially hasn't even been able to play at all. So, but yeah, just added to the list of just young, talented guards that the franchise is collecting.
I'm not listening. The camera has been on Cam Carr for a long time here, so I wonder if they're tipping this is going to be Cam Carr to Memphis.
Yeah, feels.
I normally watch the draft without scrolling Twitter to get the raw reaction of the picks, but. If you're listening to what they're saying, like Jay Billis is tipping the pick every single time.
Yeah, really?
Like the player they talk about right before they come to it is just always who ends up getting drafted. It's pretty frustrating.
Yeah,
it's
the
NFL
not
is
ideal.
even worse about it when you get to like the second and third round.
Oh yeah, they'll tell you like 3 picks ahead. Like they're thinking about.
I have not paid a ton ever since they drafted Stein. We went live and they drafted Steinbeck. I've like. It's been a little bit more background noisy, but it's not. I don't know. There's another. Is the NBA TV doing a broadcast of that? They've done that in the past too. I don't know if. I guess NBA TV is like not even really a thing anymore necessarily, but I wasn't sure if there was like an alternative broadcast that was going on simultaneously.
They are, but I have it muted.
Yeah,
they're talking to Caleb Wilson, so they're not even worried about
pick 4,
right?
2 hours behind.
They're literally talking to Caleb Wilson.
I went away for the Hans Steinbach interview, but it's not happening yet. So
yeah, I just have it pulled up on another screen.
The timing, we got emailed with the time, and I'm not sure if that time's accurate. So maybe
okay, there's another trade according to Shams. Memphis is trading number 17 to the Pistons to move back to 21 for 3 second-round picks.
So this has to be like Phylon.
Yeah, it has to be
Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Shooting.
Oh, I see it.
Wow.
To Detroit.
Abuka Okori to Detroit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they jumped. So
really
they must have thought that's who we were going to take next.
Okay, so now on the board for Charlotte is probably a lot of people. Lopez, Carr, Phylon.
Man,
I like Koa. I would not dislike Koa Pete in this spot. Alan Graves. There's a number of guys.
Was there a sigh of relief when Sturts went at 16 while I was away, or were people?
We were more trying to parse the trade that happened.
Yeah,
that was more of the discussion.
Confusingly presented, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Wow. I mean, Okori next to Cade Cunningham. Let's go, baby. I love it.
Do you need someone who can shoot though? Like that would be good.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it would be. They need guards and wings who can hit jumpers in Detroit pretty badly. Especially if you're going to try to figure this all out with like Asar Thompson still in the building too. So yeah.
But you know how the Dennis Schroeder comp people given for Bukit Corey? I've realized it's because they have the same shaped head. It's like the
that is very
backwards
true.
forehead and forward leaning chin. And I can't explain, but if you go look at it, you'll see what I mean. They kind of look visually similar. And the games actually are a little bit similar, but I can see why people are doing it.
Well, shout out to Buko Corey, man. That's a
to go.
Your guy,
it's a huge raise.
God, off the board. Hornets can't
big
even
rise.
pick him if they wanted. Maybe he was the guy, and maybe Detroit did jump.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Maybe.
What would I guess because we haven't talked about him much. How would y'all feel about like Chris Sinak Jr. or Christian Anderson?
I'm fading Chris Sinak Jr., who I don't totally dislike.
All of them.
Yeah, I'm fading Chris Sinak though. I like the tools. He's got a ways to go. Man.
That's how I feel.
He's developmentally. It's going to take some time, but it might happen. I mean, he's got some shooting potential and he's got a huge wingspan. Like, seems like he's got like a good head on his shoulders, but it just, it would be. It's not like a bad pick necessarily. To me, he's slid a decent amount in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I just wouldn't be surprised if like the first 2 years of his career, you don't hear much of him. And in year 3, they're like, where's this guy been? And then, I just wouldn't be surprised if he has that kind of like development, but
he's going to be a second draft player.
Yeah.
I might rather second draft Chris Sinak as like a throw into a trade in 2 to 3 years when he's an asset in distress or whatever.
Yeah.
There's just so much Kai Jones in his game.
That's what I was going to say.
A frustrating amount of Kai Jones. And it's just like the lack of feel is I think you mentioned, Chuck earlier, I heard him talking about this on a different podcast. It's just one of like the lowest feel players in the draft. It's kind of like he pulls down a rebound, he shoots a 3, he finishes a layup. There's no like manipulation at all to his game. It's very simple point and shoot. But the tools are what you're trying to buy into.
I'm not sure there's anyone in the like first round prospects in this class that had more like jump shots that came in the mid range off of like cuts.
Yeah,
simply because like he's not gonna like catch and put the ball on the deck and spin and dunk. It's just like, no, I caught the ball 17 feet from the hoop. I must shoot it. I'm kind of open in the mid range right now.
And sometimes it will be like a moving jump shot. It's like, why?
It's a lot.
He tries like instead of just dunking it, he tries just like up and under layup reverses, and it's like you're 7 foot with like a 7'5" wingspan. Like you should not be going for like reverse layups. Like, come on, man.
It is. Play with the force. It is crazy to see. Like, I mean, for his block and steal rates, we're both hovering around like 2%. This for a guy in that like pressure pack system with that wingspan, and his athleticism. Those are pretty disappointing numbers. To be honest with you. So
Christian Anderson, he's probably like the one guy to come away. Like he's 29th on my board.
German.
Wow.
Let's get all the Germans in Charlotte.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You're right. FIBA under 19s reunited Christian Anderson Jr. and Hans Steinbach.
The Knicks proved that if you just reunite guys that played together on a different team at a different level, that leads to success.
Yep.
So maybe instead of get the Villanova Knicks, we get the German Hornets.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's the plan here. There's some synergy.
That might be. Man, I can't believe a Corey went at 17. That's so annoying.
Yeah. And especially
what are the predictions? The pick is in. Brian, one name, your prediction.
LeBaron Filan.
Darian?
I think Filan too.
James?
Cam Carr.
I'm also Cam Carr. That's my prediction here too.
Wouldn't hate it. Would definitely not hate it.
Yeah. I just feel like for some reason the Hornets wanting to guard at 18 somehow was the worst kept secret in the league, I guess, because everybody just knew to like, let's go ahead and take him. So
because the first thing Jeff Peterson said was like, I love the guard depth in this draft, right?
Yeah.
There's like 10 guys. Like this is one of the first things he said in his post-season press conference. So you know he likes this crop, right? I'm scared it's going to be Christian Anderson, and I'm going to have to talk myself into it. I'll be really honest, folks.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like that. Not to say he's a. I don't never want to say anybody's a bad player, but it's just the size. I just don't know how that translates. I get the shooting, but it's just I just don't see how he can just replicate that in the NBA.
He is a very good pick and roll creator, but he's small and I think a little narrow in terms of like how he can be used on both sides of the court.
Reed Shepard-y. Like remember how everyone's like Reed Shepard's incredible shooter, but he's only 6'1", 6'2". And then you get to the NBA and it's like, actually, it's really hard to be an efficient shooter when you're like that size. It's just, it's so difficult.
In teams pick on you too. On the other, like I was rewatching the Hornets Houston game recently.
As you do.
The Hornets just like it was like cruel how mean they were going at Shepard on mismatches.
We're waiting it sounds. There's a long delay. Big's been in for a while. Oh, Silver's coming out. Here we go. Oh.
There it is.
Oh, but I couldn't even hold it in because we're mid saying like, we don't want this guy.
It is the German FIBA 19-3 United team. Okay.
Yeah, truly.
They do take a guard. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Where was Christian Anderson and everyone's board? 29 for me.
I had him the highest.
I either had him 25 or 26. I think I had him 26 just outside of like what we have. I think I slid Graves in at 25. It was really tempted to bump Chris Sinak out of the top 25 and to slide Anderson in, but I did not do that. So I think I had him 26.
I had him at 25, and I was the only person that had him on the BuzzBeat big board. So I think I'm the highest on Christian Anderson here, although this is still 7 spots higher than I would have taken him.
Yeah.
I'm just checking there's no trade. Maybe out of hope. Refreshing.
Man.
Look, this is similar to Steinbach. This is, as on the rebounding front, this is a double down on Charlotte's strengths. He is a knockdown 3-point shooter. Good scorer in the mid-range, too. Shot a really nice percentage in his second year at Texas Tech. Arguably, alongside Sturtz, the best like pick-and-roll ball handler in the class. Like, pretty crafty in terms of, his passes out of the pick-and-roll, can get to any shot he wants to out of it. It just kind of feels like what LaMelo Ball does, just at a much, much, much lower level because he doesn't have the physical tools or the brain that LaMelo does or the creativity. So if they want to keep the offense running with LaMelo out or Kobe White potentially wearing a different jersey next year, I could understand the appeal of Christian Anderson just kind of raising the floor of the second unit.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what you're going for here. The shooting, the pick and roll, orchestration. But yeah, I just would have preferred some of the other guard. I would have preferred Sturtz, Corey, or Filan over Christian Anderson. But
it's just, and the thing is, it's not even anything against. It's not Christian Anderson's game. It's just the fact that he's 6'1", 180 pounds.
Yeah,
like that is like how you just don't see many players like that on the court in the playoffs. That's like pretty much it with me. It's not even about him. And obviously there are always outliers, right? Isaiah Thomas finished 4th in MVP one year, right? When he was on the Celtics. Like it is possible. It's just really difficult. And like, it's not like Charlotte have, I don't know, Stephon Castle in the backcourt where it's like, well, he can play next to Christian Anderson and it's fine. Like LaMelo Ball, Kobe White, I can't really envision them playing next to Christian Anderson. So then you're talking about a third guard or a like potential backup if one of them were to be moved in coming years. So that's kind of, I guess, like the origin of my question. At least with a guy like Sturtz, he could maybe play some of the two, but Anderson's not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting with how much everybody in the organization talked about adding physicality and their exit interviews at the end of the season, that this is the direction they went with this second first-round pick, because Anderson does not offer that at all. But I mean, the size is just the big limiter there, and I don't know if he really fills the need that they have in the backcourt in terms of that specifically.
Yeah, and then also, like, it just makes me wonder, like, okay, even if we were going to go against the grain of what we decided to do with size and physicality at least, you still had Cam Carr, like BG said, you still had Phylon. So, like, those guys are smaller guys that maybe need to add some weight, but they still just give you a lot more, and there's, like, a lot more potential there. Christian Anderson, it's like he is tight. He can't grow. Those guys can gain weight, but Christian Anderson can't grow. I understand he could, he may be like an engaged defender, but that only takes you so far. It's not like, he will be surrounded by all these defenders. Like, I know, everybody's going to talk about how Jalen Brunson now is an NBA champion, but look at the guys around him. It's just like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I get the offensive upside, but to me, that's all you had to be thinking about if that's why you picked, if you pick Christian Anderson.
All right. The pick is done. Should we log off and circle back at the end of the first round, and we can maybe try and deliver some more put together thoughts with some time to see